Support! Give me a subscribe. Help me hit 200 subs by the end of September, and I'll do something crazy. 300 subs by the end of October, and I'll do something crazy. 400 subs by the end of November, and I'll do something crazy. And if we can hit 500 subs by midnight, January 1st, I'll do something completely out of the loop. Get out of the... because we're talking about... Hello, welcome to another deep dive into Tales of the Loop. I am your grumpy guide to all things gaming, the OGGM. We're taking another look at the Tales from the Loop starter set. I love that art. Look, it's got a little kid. He's got some kind of thing. He's making his robot go crazy. And the police are showing up because I guess having a robot go crazy in the wilderness is probably not a good thing. I don't know. It looks like the robot's just, minding its own business, just doing farming. So it says on Tales from the Loop, role-playing in the 80s that never was. Now, I don't know what happened in Sweden in the 80s to make it so important to this guy, but really, you could set Tales from the Loop at any point in time. So today's deep dive, we are taking a look at the kids. The archetypes. So in Tales from the Loop, you play kids. Ages, 8 through 14. And as a kid, you have certain things. There are certain archetypes available for the kids. Pretty much standard adventure-y archetypes. We've seen them before. We'll see them again. Just make sure I'm not missing any. No, that's all of them, I think. Yeah. So each archetype has his little or her little thing. So let's take a look at them. So here we have Maria Kelly. So we have the, because this game can be played both in the original Swedish setting or here in America in the Boulder City, Arizona, Nevada setting. So we have this is my Swedish name, Maria. It wasn't Swedish, that's not like German. And my American name, hi, I'm Kelly, what's up? So we have Kelly, and her archetype is popular kid. Popular kid. You know, the Heathers, the Plastics from the 80s. That girl that every other buddy either wanted to be with or be like or hate. So, because she's a popular kid, she has certain strengths. Her big strength is that her heart is 5 and her mind is 4. So she's very smart and she's very charismatic. On the other hand, her body is 3 and her tech is 1. So she's tough, but she's not that tough. And she definitely doesn't know the first thing about machines other than how to make her boombox work and how to hit redial on her phone. So, and her strong skills are move, contact, charm, and lead. So, again, she spent a certain amount of points to get dice in here, and then she has a certain amount of points to get extra dice in here. So the numbers are how many dice she's going to roll. If she has to make a mind roll, she's going to roll 4d6. She's hoping for at least 1d6. So that's archetype number 1, popular kid. Her big strength being charming people and leading people and just being a Heather. And her iconic thing being her makeup box. And her big, thing is that this place is my home and I don't want anything to happen to it. So each kid has a drive, a problem, a pride, a description, a favorite song, an anchor, and relationships, iconic item, and a hideout. And usually the group shares the hideout. The iconic item will give you a bonus in certain situation, like she's got a makeup box of +2, so that'll give her a bonus in situations where she needs to maybe disguise herself or dress herself up. That's her iconic thing. So iconic things mean no matter how many times she uses it during the game, it never goes away. At the end of the game, all of their equipment she might pick up will disappear or get broken, but her makeup kit will always be there every game. And at the end of the game, each session, the kids can change out their iconics and their stuff based on how the events of the game has affected them. This stuff remains unchanged, but they can change things because it may be now she doesn't like Frederick anymore. That relationship has changed. So here's archetype number 1, the popular kid. So archetype number 2, we've got Tim/Timmy. Tim in Swedish, Timmy in America. And he is the weirdo. So me, basically, the Dungeons and Dragons kid. And his big thing is mind and heart. Again, and his iconic skills are sneak, move, investigate, comprehend, and empathize. And his item is his rat. So he takes his rat everywhere, no matter what. Nothing bad is going to happen to his rat unless he wants it to. And that's icon number 2, the weirdo. And icon number 3, we got Frederick, who's the jock. So obviously the jock's big thing is going to be strong, and he's got a body of 5, and his iconic skills are force, move, tinker, and contact, and his iconic item is his hockey stick. So he's your brick. Then we've got the computer geek icon, archetype, and we've got the bookworm. So this is where I have some trouble, because bookworm, computer geek, weirdo, they're all kind of the same, I guess, sort of, really. Excuse me. And those, iconic, bookworm, geek, weirdo, strange person, could have all sort of been combined, and then that could have been replaced with other sort of iconic kids. If you're making the Breakfast Club, you've got the princess, you've got the loner, you've got the jock, you've got the weirdo, so that's the icon. Those are your classic target 80s group of archetypes. So this game works on archetypes. You don't have to play an archetype. They definitely gives you the rules of how to make your own kid. I just suggest that because archetypes are so important to that dynamic of the Goonies, the Breakfast Club, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Gremlins, E.T., your Heathers, your sort of classic 80s junior high school imagery. So that's why they suggest that you use these builds, and each build has a certain bonus thingy. But really, no build's better than the other build. It has suggested things, but as we saw, our popular kid was almost as tough as our jock, so whatever. So that is a deep dive into the iconic archetypes of Tales from the Loops, the kids you might play, and the thinking behind them. Again, it says 80s because the heavy influences are obviously the Breakfast Club, Goonies, and 80s weird sci-fi speculative fiction, and just that idea of kids Scooby-Dooing their way through weirdness. And for some reason the 80s seems to sort of be the decade where people think a lot of weird shit happened. But really, I think you could set a Tales from the Loop campaign anywhere and anywhen. The loop just being this nebulous idea that there is this weird science fiction, this weird fantasy, dinosaurs, aliens, strange conspiracies going on, combined with sort of that bleak but beautiful, tragic amazingness of this sort of wilderness, and kids being forced to deal with these situations because adults don't want to or can't. It's Scooby-Doo, it's Goonies, it's the Breakfast Club. It's just that idea that these kids find themselves in these situations, and since there's no killing in this game, you have to work through these situations involving your contacts, your complications. How am I, as a 14-year-old kid with nothing to my name but a bike and a hockey stick, gonna deal with a Tyrannosaurus Rex? So that is another deep dive into Tales from the Loop. We will continue because I love this game.